What is up, everybody? My name is Raffi. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Redstone Craft. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as we fly through the airs with beautiful shaders on, I have a few updates to give to you guys before we get into today's episode. So, first and foremost, last episode we tore out these two farms. If you guys remember, so that's what we're going to be working on today. But you might have noticed I'm using shaders. That's because I've decided that I'm going to start recording this series with shaders. I have pretty smooth gameplay. And yeah, so considering that I don't lag on this, and I'm on max settings, like if I really wanted to, I could slow stuff down. But yeah, it looks freaking epic. Now this does have an issue, which is I'm gonna need to start lighting up places because gamma isn't gonna be a thing anymore. But I'm sure I can handle. I tend to light up places anyway because of mobs, so shouldn't be too much of a hurry. The second update has to do with the camera border that you guys are seeing around my camera. This comes from my Twitch camera border, and I feel like it's nicer than the one I was using for YouTube, which is just a bare metal one. So yeah, switch to this one. That's pretty cool. I don't really know what else. I think that's it for updates. This looks absolutely epic with shaders. I don't know if I ever showed you any of this place with shaders. Like, the house is a bit dark. I might need to consider illumination, like lighting. Otherwise, we can see, for example, down here looks super eerie. There's 100% mobs back there. Let's see if we can find them. I don't know how they're mobs back there though. Like, this is all lit up. Wait, you can spawn on redstone now? No, crap, I don't have arrows. And I don't have my sword. Since when can mobs spawn on redstone? What? Okay, I need to handle that then. Duly noted. Let me get out of here before more stuff spawns. Actually, you're gonna go up here because you're a mob drop. Okay, anyway, that isn't the point of today's episode. The point of today's episode is, as you can see in the title, or sort of infer from the title, we're going to be building a bamboo farm. Now, once again, I'm not going to zero tick the farm because I don't feel like that's something... I agree it's a bit buggy, like we previously had a zero tick, but we tore it down just because of that. It doesn't fit 1.16, so we're going to go old school. Now, I believe the bamboo used to be over there, the sugarcane over here, but either way, bamboo is now going to be over here. Now, before we actually get into building this, I want to explain some stuff to you guys. So let's pop into a creative world, shall we? Okay guys, so we're here in my creative world. You can see there's a bunch of stuff around me, but before we get into it, I should credit the original designer of the farm, which was none other than Impulse SV. He designed this farm and I took inspiration from it and I adapted it and did some of my own research. So the farm is based on a very simple idea. So Impulse explains this, by the way, this is 100% his farm. I will be clear on what I added and his link is down in the description below, so go check it out. His video is amazing anyway. So this was actually dirt, but it grew grass on it. Anyway, bamboo can be planted in these blocks, and as you can see, it can be planted. This was soil, path, or soul sand, which means it always has to be planted on full blocks. Now, once again, these three here are technically zero tickable, so that one, whatever. So I had first choice was to pick between these. Now, one would think, okay, they might grow faster on sand. No, they don't. I tested this extensively. They grow equally as fast on all of these blocks. So once again, shout out to Impulse, he guessed the block correctly. Now after that, his technique is actually based on a very fun idea. You see, if we just grab this, you can see that we have sets of minecarts above and below a block. Now each of them has a yes or no if they have rails. So if in this case we have no rail on top and no rail on the bottom. So if I put items here, well, they're not going to go into here, right? That sounds logical. Here we have a yes on the top and a yes on the bottom. And once again, if we put items in here, that was there prior. Yeah, okay, my bad. go away. As you can see, there's still 64 here. I'm not dreaming. Okay. Here we have this is bottom no. Okay. So in this case, we have a rail on the top and no rail on the bottom. As you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that there's a rail there and there isn't a rail there. So if I just put items in here, they're also not going to flow. However, in the single case that you have no rail on top and a rail on the bottom, you can do this. And items transfer super fast. And this is the main mechanic of the farm. This is what makes this farm feasible. So what I ended up doing is just building this. So this is his farm, and I'm going to explain how it works. So basically the farm has the collection system here. These ones have rails, these ones don't have rails. And there's actually a reason for these ones to be here, because technically if they fell on the block, these minecarts could catch it. However, sometimes they'll fall on top of the bamboo stump, so they'll fall just right on top of that, and they won't be taken anywhere. However, if you have the minecart here, there's no losses. So, especially on the Spigot server where items tend to group together, this is very important. So then, okay, it's pretty basic. You wait for them to reach a certain height, observers detected, redstone signal goes down, powers a piston that punches slime blocks forward and breaks the bamboo in its second height. Great, right? These here are just because they're movable, and it works perfectly. In fact, if I just manually activate it, you can see it's a bit slower, but the bamboo comes down. You can see from some testing, it gives off a lot of bamboo. However, I wasn't happy with just this, so I went on a little bit of a testing spree. First of all, I needed to see how on average did bamboo grow. The wiki said 12, but okay, between 12 and 16, what does that mean? Is it really mostly 12? Is it all like 14? Is it worth making it higher? Turns out it's not. Although it might seem like it, it's not worth the risk. So you can see that this is 12, and then you have a good amount at 13. Technically, you could do this at 13. However, you ran the risk of never getting any because they would only grow up to 12. So, okay, let's pull this thing to max height. There we go. Pretty easy, right? Pulls up. But then I was like, okay, I don't want to use this many observers. So let's see what else we can do. And then I remembered that I saw this on a video online. I don't know who the original creator of this thing is, but it's super useful. So if I just have this right here, and I'm actually going to go into F5, you can see it's just a piston with a log, a leaf, an observer, and a lantern. Now if I go into F5 and hit the button, you can see the lantern turns on when the log hits the leaf. And that's because these leaves over here have a property which I think is the distance, yeah, which is the distance from a log. Now this one says 7 because there is technically no logs touching it. So, you know, this is apologize. This is really useful. So now I'm like, okay, how far up can I do this? And apparently I can have 6 leaves separated by 1 from the log. And so I have a pretty good height. Now, at first I didn't think this was going to be enough, but when I tried fitting it in, it did work. And as you can see here, sorry, this is bugged because I was 0. Whoops. I increased tick rate and it does mess up with pistons. So be careful if you're testing these farms with extended tick rate. Pistons tend to bug out. But yeah, you can see it works, and if the bamboo actually grew, which it was just grown or whatever, this would activate, it would change the status on these leaves, all of them actually, and then it will push the slime and collect the bamboo. You can see this one didn't get a lot of experience because the leaf system breaks at higher tick rates, but in survival this shouldn't be an issue. Then I thought, how far wide can I extend it? So for those of you who don't know, the maximum width you can single piston can push is 12 blocks. So these are 12. If I just add a 13th, there we go, doesn't push. And it can literally be any block I want, it won't push. So since I wanted to keep this minimal, I decided, okay, 12 in height, 12 in length, which means a farm sort of like this. And I then added lighting because bamboo actually needs like light level 9 to grow, I think. One way or the other, this is a really, really good bamboo farm. And so much so that from testing, I have almost an entire shulker box. Now, I did add this preventive measure here, just this block with a button, just so I can activate it manually if need be. But on regular tick rates, this should never be needed. So, yeah. This is sort of the science behind the farm we're going to be building. And now that this is done, we can actually get started the building, right? So cue in the time lapse while I prep up. Okay guys, so now with the time lapse going, these are all the materials you're going to be needing to build a farm like this. Please pay attention that the black stained glass is just random blocks. It can be whatever you want. Honestly, I just use glass because it looks good in the creative test world. Everything else are exact numbers. You also only need 12 bamboo, technically. So, first of all, let me break this. Let me go back here, okay? So, if we just put this down here. Can I put it down? Is it right? Yeah, it is, okay. A little hard to see with glass and shaders, to be honest. So, let's get our chests out. This is the easiest part, so double chest right there. This is probably not going to be enough if you're going to be around this thing a lot, whatever. Then you pull one, and then you pull 12 exactly behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that should match up. No, it doesn't. Does this match up? Ooh, okay, I did it 1 over. My bad. That's why. Sorry, I'm matching it with the other one just so it's easier for me to make sure I'm building this correctly. There we go. Okay, so now you can grab your blocks and just put a perimeter around this, whichever way you like. So I'm just gonna make very quick glass perimeter. I do advise doing this before you get the mine carts in, at least one of the sides, just to make sure nothing goes to hell. But yeah, now once you have one side up, you can come and pick up mine carts. Now you're actually gonna need 24 hopper mine carts. I just wasn't gonna fit them in a single shulker, so that's my way of doing it. You're also gonna need more rails for assistance to place the next few mine carts, but you shouldn't need them in the end. But these rails are necessary, these ones that I'm putting right here. So now you have to be very careful to make sure you're putting 1 minecart hopper per block. So if you put 12 down, just like that, you should get all the minecart hoppers you require. Now do that. And up here, you're gonna get your 12 grass, and you're gonna start building. Now, you're actually also going to need some of the furnaces this time around. So I'm building this with a certain direction. So I need immovable objects right over there. Then all the way around is just regular glass. And actually, my bad. Never mind. You need this 1 level above. Yeah. Okay, so once you have that done, all you need to do is place the first immovable objects and make sure you put glass all the way around. And actually, for the sake of being easier placing minecarts, I'm going to show you a trick. So place down your grass. It should equal to 12. Then get your rails and just place 12 rails down. And then try placing 12 minecarts. Now this can be slightly harder than assumed. But yeah, once you have that done, you should pretty easily be able to come here and just break the rails. And there we go. Now you can just place your immovable objects. Forget, I don't need to shift there. And you can grab your 12 bamboo from the box and plop them down against the glass. Now you were gonna have a hard time if you try doing it on the grass itself and not the glass, but you should be able to, in theory. Yeah, once that's done, you can plop down 2 movable objects right there, and another line of movable objects. Whoopsie daisies. There you go. Make sure you leave these blocks here empty and place down corners just for the hell of it. Then you're going to need your last line where this farm is really going to be, I guess, hard, or have any difficulty at all, I should say. So this is your last line of movable objects, which is getting harder to place because the bamboo's already growing. Why have you grown so high already? Jesus. Okay, there we go. Now you might be wondering, this empty place right here, why didn't you place the slime? Mostly because I'm lazy. We're going to place it now. So just place 12 slime blocks right over here. And then we just support block. Do that. There we go. And that's it for the movable platform. This is technically, you could just press this button and it's done. However, it's of course not over for the farm because you still need to pull it up. Now from this level, you're gonna pull up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just confirm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. So just do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way around. Okay guys, so once you have all this pulled up, I would advise just putting some temporary blocks right here. You are going to break those, so preferably don't use glass. And go pick up your observers. Now you're actually only going to need 12 for this part, so I'm going to leave the rest out. And what you're going to do is basically just face 12 observers down. And then you're, you are free to come in here and just break the blocks all the way through. There we go. So once the blocks are broken, go ahead and grab your redstone and actually grab your 14 redstone, your sticky piston, your 2 lime, 6 leaves, and 2 observers that you have left. And all you're going to do is you're going to pull 1 lime from there, 1 observer actually, no, up, 1 sticky piston, 1 log, pull and leave a space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an observer pointing forward, accompanied with a block and a button back here just for debugging. And then you can grab your 14 redstone and just place them on the top. Due to the fact that this is 14 and not 15, you don't even have to extend it. So beautiful. And that sums up the module. Now, another piece of advice. Oh, we already have 17 bamboos somehow. Another piece of advice I have for you. Place down some lighting. Nobody dies if you don't. And bamboo needs a top level light of 9 to grow. So just make sure you're putting down lighting or the area around it is lit up. Don't just enclose this in darkness. It won't grow. Trust me, I have tried and the wiki is right on this. But yeah, that is the farm. Now, the good thing about this farm is technically you can mirror it to this side, have a lot more. In fact, technically you could just extend the single design horizontally by a bunch and just have multiple of these. You could also stack them on top of each other. It wouldn't be too hard. You'd have to pay attention for this not to lock the hoppers, but that's about it. The only thing I won't advise is you directly putting this one next to another one vertically without separation walls. Although you could share this separation wall and just put another one right next to it, you know. It's a pretty good farm, and shout out again to Impulse SV for the idea. All I did really was extend it and just double check some facts out of my own curiosity and just make this system here so I don't have to waste a lot of observers. He actually didn't power it like this. He powered it with some redstone line stuff, but this is a pretty easy way to do it, actually. But yeah, with that said, let's go back to Redstone Craft to, well, see the finished product, shall we? Okay guys, so we're back, and the farm's done. You can see right under me how it looks. I mean, you probably saw it during the time lapse, but it was small, so, you know, no big deal. Anyway, you can see it's actually quite nicer than it looks, and I actually forgot a row of glass here, apparently. No, I didn't. Okay. But yeah, it looks quite nice. Like, I'm happy with this decoration. Maybe fixing up these sidewalls so they have some concrete is not a bad idea. But for the rest, honestly a great decoration. Super cool looking farm, and you know, it adds to the design of the current cactus farm that we built last episode. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Now, the farm should be working. None of the bamboo have grown enough for me to test it yet, at least here, but once again, we tested it in the creative world, so it should work. Yeah. Now all we have to do is wait. And I actually had to go grab and put pistons here before the episode because I had forgotten that. Because I'm a dumbass and I didn't remember pistons when I was making a redstone box for some reason. Anyway, boxes are coming in handy. I am now going to offload my inventory. Actually, I'll do it once we're done here. Yeah. You can see this is much easier because now all I have to do is just pop stuff in here. I'm being a little more careful than what I usually would because I want things to go where they should. But, you know, it's pretty good way of going about things. There we go. Any other redstone stuff? Nope. Concrete, there's still have a lot of you. Thank God, you're a pain in the butt to get. Wood, I actually have a handful of you for there. And ooh, I'm considering just putting a crafting table right there because it's so useful. Stone, I'm actually out of cobblestone, but I'm going to include you into the box because I feel like that's not a bad inclusion. This I'm not going to pop in here. Glass, of course. It's my gearbox, doesn't need anything. You need that. There we go. And I can actually pop my bed off, put it into the gearbox. I actually have a crafting table in here. I did not know that. Put both my axe, forget where these go, and my shovel in here. Switch these, and there we go. I actually had to place this down because of the mine carts, because they wouldn't fit anywhere else. There were a lot of mine carts actually. I had to end up crafting some while I was doing it, but there you go. That's the cleanup. No more messy things, no more messy chests. Clean looking. I actually still have to plug the farm into our system because it's going to be a little bit annoying because I have to run it and then run it up and sideways because this goes a lot lower than the previous one. But it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just a water current. Nothing too big to worry. Yeah. Sadly though, guys, I do think that is going to be it for today. I know it was another episode of Farms, but that is after all what we had been missing. And next episode, we're going to have yet another one. And I'm actually excited about this because I'm going to use a design by the one and only Tango Tech. But we'll go over the design next episode on our usual segment. But yeah, we now have a very good cactus farm, which by the way is producing a bunch of cactus. We have a really decent bamboo farm, considering I won't need much more bamboo ever again. And we're now gonna get another sugarcane one. Yeah. So though, guys, that is all I've got time for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, go check out my Twitch, which is linked down in the description below. This is a little bit of an odd plug for me, but I've been streaming live, and yeah, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff, and you can see a couple series ahead. And I'm gonna start streaming pretty soon some redstone craft, because I have stuff to do like mining and some other grindy stuff that's gonna come on the next few episodes, which I'm not gonna spoil. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm out. Peace.